Mike was there, man, and I never seen him, never met him. And that's a football guy, right there.
If it's one thing he shows is this dude is a football dude. And matter of fact, you know, he's the type of coach that we had in Pop Warner. Now, you know, you about, you know, like I said, you about 8 to 10 years behind us. So I don't know what kind of Pop Warner coaches you had, but those was the type we had. The type that talked a lot of shit and you know, let you know, like, nah, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who your mom is. You ain't balling, you ain't playing.
Oh, that's right. That's why I never lost the game in Pop Warner.
Okay, okay.
You know what I mean? I played with LA Sheriff Packers, baby.
Oh, LA Sheriff,
yeah. They never lost the game.
They still practice up at Athens Park? Okay,
yeah.
So now I'm just gonna get into some defensive back shit. Coverage cats, zone coverage cats, cover two deep, you know, and then you got man coverage cats. Which one? I know you say you played more man coming up. Which one is more your style?
To be honest with you, man, at this point, and at this point where I'm so polished, I wouldn't call myself a cover corner. I wouldn't call myself a zone corner. I would call myself a press corner. I am a corner. You know what I mean?
Corner. So you
I adapt to anything.
When I first started out, it was a lot of men, and that's why they had me at corner, because I could do it.
Yeah.
And then as I got a little older, like, it was schemes, the zones.
Right.
And I learned them. And so now I got everything together right now, man.
Okay.
And from today, to tell you today, I feel like I am going, and I will come up and hit you.
Okay, because you know that was my next question.
Right. That's what we like to hear. Word up.
Because that was my next question with a lot of corners, because I know I played a lot of cover 2. I played a lot of cover 2, flat zone, you know, cover 2 zone, where if you ran a sweep, and they would always, you know, come my way, because back then I was like 6 feet, like 178, 180. So it was like tall, skinny dude at corner. So they'd run a sweep. And what I would always try and do is before those linemen squared up upfield, you got to tag them before they square up, or you done.
Yeah.
And then you don't necessarily make the play. You make a hard hit, and whether you get knocked back or you knock the lineman back, you open it up for the strong, the linebacker to make those plays when you push it back inside.
Right.
And I was going to ask you now, you down for that? Because at a small dude, you definitely got to be like, okay, you got to see run quick, or else when he turns upfield, it's over.
Well, yeah, that's the advantage that I have on a run play. Number one, you gotta be willing to make a tackle on whoever it is. That's just the game of football. And you got a lot of people who just don't, whether they big guys or little guys. So it's not even a size thing when it comes to the run. You must do it. You get paid to do this.
And just to piggyback what you're saying, if you run quick enough, you know, and you know you're playing the flat, you can be like, I'm coming. And you make a play in the backfield before that lineman can even get a hand on you.
And that's what one of my, you know, assets of having this quickness. Because especially from I'm in cover 2, that means I only got a flat anyway.
Your 1/5 right here is what you cover.
So I ain't got that deep ball. I got somebody back there.
Right.
So if I see run, you know, and this is just learning the scheme of football. If I see that ball going back there and I see them linemen actually pulling, and they coming, they can't run past.
Right.
So as soon as I see that, man, I shoot through, and I am way too fast for these big linemen to catch me. And me being a smaller size, I know how to get through certain gaps. So as soon as I get through that gap, either I'm gonna force you back, or I'm gonna get you in the backfield 9 times out of 10.
Once again, I need the kids to hear this. This is a little coaching session. Forcing you back, which means one thing: he has outside contain. You're not getting outside of him.
Exactly.
And then, if he can make the fucking tackle, he gonna blow your big ass up and look like the fucking superhero of the world at 165.
Right.
There you go.
Donte Gamble.
And the reason why, when that first happened, when that run to the youngsters, when that run first happened to your side, you come and give it everything you got that first time, because guess what? The next time they won't come.
That's
right. I gotta get on the phone call.
It's called let it be known. That's what it's called.
Man.
Now to piggyback off of your question you asked, I want to flip it. What offense
How you gonna
gives you what offense gives you kind of a little, you know, is it the West Coast? Is it that run and shoot where you said with the 5 wide receivers? Or is it sort of like Andy Reid style with Philly where they always throwing that running back on the wheel route? or they throwing Westbrook in little situations like these little screens, jailbreak screens? What gives you more of a, like, man, you know what, I got to work on that?
Well, you know what, man, like I say, being so seasoned right now, man, I feel so good about the game of football because knowing is key in football. And any one of those offense, let's say if you throw the West Coast offense at me. Okay, that's a lot of underneath things and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, guess what happens with that? If a smart D coordinator, he might call a cover 2 on that.
Right.
Because guess what? When one comes, somebody replaces
Replacement.
it.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can make, and I like to sugar everything, make it look like man.
Right.
As soon as y'all think that I'm his man, when he goes and you see me, you think I'm chasing,
right.
I already see this guy coming into this flat.
Exactly.
So guess what I do? I jump that.
Yeah, and that's where the quick feet come in at. Because I seen you do that shit. You ain't slick enough to get wrong, dog. I seen him do it. He act like he was jumping and like butter. That footwork just was right out there.
And that's the name of the game, man.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you got to disguise things and make them look good. And like you say, if you got the Westbrook offense,
right.
where they like to do the back out the backfield,
right.
Well, just say if we are in a cover 2 at that time also, man, the way I play it, I already know, number one, you really not my man. I must force you inside,
right.
and I'm passing you on.
Right.
So guess who I'm looking at? Number 2.
Right.
Which is the running back. So check this out. So when y'all doing this play action or whatever y'all doing to make it seem like something else is going on, I am keying in not on number 1. You go ahead, let me push you in. I'm looking at this running back. And as soon as you start to try to flare, you giving me all the time to come up.
Man. And now you got 2 choices. Do I make a shot right there? Or do I lay this motherfucker out look like Zach Taylor?
There it is. You know, and it's depending on how I'm feeling on that play.
Yeah.
Do I want to hit you?
Or do I want to make a pick? Go ahead.
Sports Center, NFL Network. Which one?
Man, I read down the distance. You know, I know the
Playing
possibilities around
the head, baby.
and I was successful at doing it. You know what I mean?
Can I just say one thing? Not to interrupt you.
Yeah.
But your first name's Donte, right?
Donte.
What's your last name?
Gamble.
Okay. And see,
Yes.
it's a smart gambler right here.
Yes.
Down the distance.
Yeah.
Let's do
always playing with house money.
Right.
And then there you
always
go.
Playing with house
And
money.
it ain't that much of a gamble.
Which makes it even more on when you look at it like, okay, any cat, because we hold a little clinic, and I tell them all the time, the cats to play corner. Learn the game and learn what the situation is, you know, down the distance. How far are you from the sideline? How far away from the sideline you are? Now you kind of have an idea of what route this cat can run on you. Because if you right by the sidelines, he can't run out on you. He can maybe run an inside curl. He can run something in. He can run, you know, a slant. But he ain't running nothing crazy because the sideline's right there. So I feel you 100. I feel you 100.
I learned how to read quarterbacks, read steps.
Yeah.
Read, you know, like you say, as
Through
far as down the
to
distance.
The quarterback and all
exactly, and that's how you're supposed to do it as a corner. You know, the best corners, that's what they do.
That's right.
So I'm trying to, you know, emulate what they're doing and bring it into my game.
Well, I was looking at some of your game footage just on the 4th and long. I noticed your footwork was strong. Irvin said himself that you are a highly intelligent player. You know what I'm saying? Like we was looking at one part where what was that? What did he do? Mark, he basically he played outside.
Played outside technique because you know you had help to the inside.
Yeah, I mean you know simple things like that along with the athleticism, it does a whole lot, man. So I mean, I personally, when I saw you, that was the first show. I just seen your backpedal, your footwork, and where your body was positioned. You know, because me, him, you know, I play safety, strong safety. And linebacker, but I mean DB, you know what I'm saying? High school, JC, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we all understand all of what it takes to do what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I definitely saw a lot of skill there, a lot of intelligence, and you know, hey, man, you was doing a damn thing to me.
One thing.
I think y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Go ahead.
All right. So now saying that he gonna keep the best football player. All right. I look at your footwork. I see you when you playing up close, you know what I'm saying, and bump and run, looking like cover 1. I see your footwork. I see you coming off the ball. I see you don't necessarily let cats just get a free release. But even if you do, I've watched your footwork and I like what you do. Even if you do give a dude a free release, you right there in his hip pocket.
That's right.
Moses Washington, though. I'm just going to ask you, dog.